Have you ever found yourself in one of those situations where you felt like you simply weren't a priority for others? Or perhaps you've experienced that frustrating moment when you did an amazing job, had a brilliant idea, or did something genuinely valuable for others, only to receive no credit? Dealing with this feeling is incredibly challenging. Sometimes, even when we do everything right, put in our best effort to help others, and make ourselves available, it seems like we go unnoticed. It's as if our actions aren't acknowledged or, worse yet, deliberately ignored. And that can be disheartening, especially when it involves close people, such as family, friends, or partners. According to Stoic philosophy, we shouldn't seek recognition from others, as it can lead to frustration. But what if I told you there are ways to become a priority in someone's life and be more recognized? In fact, by understanding and applying the right strategies, it's entirely possible for that to happen. Here's what I propose: 9 steps that can help you stay at the top of someone's priority list. By following these steps, you can ensure that the people who care about you recognize your worth and consider you a priority in their lives. Our journey is not just about gaining external recognition, but also about cultivating a sense of internal fulfillment. It's about discovering how we can become the best version of ourselves, regardless of others' responses. It's about learning to nurture healthy and meaningful relationships, where mutual respect and appreciation flourish. Now that we understand the problem, it's time to revolutionize our approach and learn the solution. This is an invitation to a path of self-discovery and personal growth. So, if you're ready for it, welcome to another chapter of this journey. Before we begin, I ask that you commit to watching this video until the end, as each step is important. And let's move on to the first lesson, but before that, just make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because the next videos will be a series of Stoic content that will help you find balance, wisdom, and serenity in a world full of challenges. Lesson 1. Personal priority. Imagine this as a kind of mental game, where you take a step back to eventually take 2 steps forward. This is one of the most powerful psychological tricks we can use to stand out in someone's life. Often, people are more motivated by the fear of losing something than by the simple prospect of gaining it. It's a basic truth of human nature. We tend to value more what we fear losing than what we already have. So, if we want to be seen as a priority, we need to make the person feel like they will lose us. Have you ever noticed how people seem to value something or someone more when there's a risk of losing it? It's a curious phenomenon, but deeply rooted in human psychology. When something is always present in our lives, it's easy to take it for granted and not fully recognize its value. However, when that something or someone is at risk of being lost, suddenly we perceive its importance much more clearly. This happens for several reasons. Firstly, scarcity creates value. When something is scarce or appears to be available only in limited quantities, our perception of its value increases. Limited availability suggests that something is special and worthy of attention. But how do we do this in practice? We start by emotionally distancing ourselves. It's not about being cold or distant, but rather about reducing the emotional intensity we share with that person. Stop sharing your deepest feelings and confidences so frequently. Furthermore, it's time to balance your time. Set aside moments for other people and activities that are important to you as well. It's not just about creating jealousy or playing games, but about cultivating your own autonomy and personal value. When someone realizes that you're not as available as before, they'll naturally start to question why. And that's where the fear of losing you comes in. However, a word of caution: this technique needs to be used with care and balance. If you distance yourself too much, you risk pushing that person away completely. Therefore, it's crucial to find the right balance. It's not about emotional manipulation, but about creating space for them to realize how valuable you are in their lives. It's a delicate process that requires sensitivity and awareness. But when done wisely, it can be incredibly effective. So, start applying this technique with care and confidence, and see how you'll become a priority in the lives of those you care about. This is an invitation to a journey of self-discovery and personal development. Lesson 2. Balancing availability. Have you ever heard that less is more? Well, when it comes to relationships, this phrase can become your mantra. We're talking about the second step to becoming a priority in someone's life, avoiding being always available. Have you ever noticed how we often value more what is rare and hard to obtain? The same logic applies to relationships. If you're constantly available, there's a good chance of being taken for granted. This doesn't mean we should become inaccessible or selfish, but rather that we need to balance availability with our own autonomy and worth. It's time to prioritize yourself. Send the message that you have a life beyond others and that you're not just waiting around for them. This not only reinforces your self-esteem, but also makes others value your presence more. So, how do we apply this in practice? Start by setting healthy boundaries. It's not about completely withdrawing, but rather finding a healthy balance between being available and taking care of yourself. Set aside time for your own interests, hobbies, and friendships. Show people that you have a vibrant life full of activities beyond your relationship with them. Moreover, learn to say no when necessary. If you're constantly accommodating others and sacrificing your own needs, it's time to reassess your priorities. Remember that your time and energy are valuable and deserve to be protected. Know that it's not about playing games or manipulating others' feelings. It's about cultivating healthy and balanced relationships, where mutual respect and appreciation are fundamental. By avoiding being always available, we're not only reinforcing our self-esteem, but also establishing healthy boundaries in relationships. These boundaries are essential to ensure that our needs are met and that we don't lose ourselves in others' expectations. It's important to remember that being available all the time isn't sustainable. We all need time to recharge, take care of ourselves, and pursue our own interests. Neglecting these needs can lead to feelings of resentment and burnout, which are unhealthy for any relationship. By prioritizing ourselves and our own happiness, we're sending a clear message to others that we're complete and independent individuals. This not only increases our own value in others' eyes, but also creates a sense of mutual respect and balance in relationships. So, how can we put this into practice in our daily lives? Start small. Set aside time every day to take care of yourself, whether it's through exercise, meditation, hobbies, or simply relaxing. Set clear boundaries with people in your life and don't be afraid to say no. Therefore, let's embrace the idea of quality over quantity. Let's prioritize our own happiness and well-being while cultivating meaningful connections with those who truly value our presence in their lives. Commit to finding this balance and becoming the best version of yourself. Lesson 3. Mystery. It's like a sprinkle of seasoning that makes life more interesting, isn't it? And when it comes to relationships, it can be the key to becoming a priority in someone's life. Imagine it as a subtle game of revealing and concealing parts of yourself, like an exciting dance between the known and the unknown. It's about maintaining a certain air of mystery that sparks curiosity and keeps the flames of fascination burning. By keeping a certain air of mystery around you, you're essentially creating an aura of fascination that draws people towards you. It's as if you're inviting them to unravel the secrets behind your personality and life story. The beauty of this process lies in how it creates space for imagination to flourish. When you don't reveal everything about yourself all at once, you're leaving room for the other person to fill in the gaps with their own conjectures and fantasies. This not only increases their interest in getting to know you better, but also creates a deeper and more meaningful connection. People are naturally drawn to the enigmatic and mysterious. The idea of the unknown has a magnetic power over us, arousing our curiosity and leading us to desire more connection. Therefore, if you want to be seen as a priority in someone's life, maintaining some mystery can be your trump card. But how do you do this in practice? Well, it's not about hiding who you are, but rather revealing yourself slowly, like an exciting book that unfolds with each page turned. Drop hints about your hobbies and interests without revealing all the information at once. Answer questions vaguely, leaving room for imagination to fill in the blanks. Avoid delving too deeply into your past, leaving an air of mystery around your experiences and stories. The goal here is to keep the other person intrigued and eager to learn more about you. It's like a journey of mutual discovery, where each revelation brings with it the promise of something new and exciting. Over time, that mystery you've cultivated will begin to transform into genuine connection, and people will start to see you as a priority in their lives. Furthermore, maintaining a bit of mystery is also a way to preserve your own individuality and autonomy. By not fully opening up from the beginning, you're safeguarding parts of yourself that are precious and sacred. This doesn't mean being dishonest or manipulative, but rather preserving your emotional integrity while allowing the relationship to develop organically and authentically. So, start embracing the idea of keeping a bit of mystery, of leaving space for imagination to flourish and curiosity to grow. Allow yourself to be like thrilling books, full of unwritten pages waiting to be discovered. If you've made it this far, I ask that you look at the first pinned comment and leave a like to show that you're truly seeking change. Lesson 4. Allowing them to invest in you. This is one of those steps that requires a special delicacy, a careful approach to ensure that you don't push people away, but rather draw them even closer to you. So, let's delve a little deeper into this concept. Think about it. Who is more likely to see you as a priority? Someone who has invested a lot in you or someone who hasn't? The answer seems obvious, doesn't it? If we want to be seen as a priority in someone's life, we need to allow them to invest in us. But how do we do that in practice? There are several ways. For example, we can allow people to invest their time in us. This means turning down plans that we know we can't fulfill and allowing them to wait for us. We can also demonstrate that our time is valuable by not always being available and making them wait for us. By doing this, you're communicating that you have an active and busy life, and that your time is precious. This attitude sends the message that we're not just another person in their lives, but someone worth pursuing. It's like we're throwing out a subtle challenge. Do you want my time? Then prove that you deserve it. This makes people start prioritizing you again, knowing that they need to put in a little more effort to win your attention and time. By allowing people to invest in you, you're essentially creating space for them to demonstrate their interest and dedication. It's like you're creating an opportunity for them to show how much they value your presence in their lives. However, it's important to remember that this should be done in moderation and with care. It's not about manipulating people or playing with their feelings, but rather about establishing healthy boundaries and conveying your own worth. Do it carefully, don't overdo it, as the result may be the opposite of what's desired. We want to attract people closer to us, not push them away. So, be subtle, be kind, but make it clear that you value your time and space. Therefore, commit yourself to being receptive to the love and dedication of those who value you. Open your heart to receive the love and attention you deserve, while also giving space for others to express their affection in a healthy and balanced way. Build relationships that enrich you and inspire you to be a better version of yourself. Lesson 5. Prioritize your needs. This is a crucial aspect of becoming a priority in someone's life, and it's something that we often forget or neglect in the pursuit of pleasing others. Here's the essence of it. Prioritizing your own needs isn't selfish. It's an essential form of self-care and self-respect. It means not putting yourself in a position where you're not a priority for someone who doesn't treat you as you deserve. It might be tempting to stick around someone who doesn't recognize your worth, but remember, Surrounding yourself with people who prioritize you significantly increases your chances of being seen the same way. Furthermore, prioritizing your own needs doesn't mean completely ignoring others. It's about finding a healthy balance between taking care of yourself and still being present for those who are important in your life. When you're well with yourself, you can offer more authentic and meaningful support to others, truly becoming a source of strength and inspiration. It's important to remember that being a priority in your own life isn't an act of selfishness, but rather an act of self-love and authenticity. By putting yourself first, you're setting a standard of self-respect and self-esteem that radiates into all areas of your life. You deserve the same care and attention that you give to others, and by doing so, you're setting an example of how healthy and balanced relationships should be. So, allow yourself to be a priority in your own life and watch how it transforms the way you're seen and valued by others. Internalize this. You can't control how others feel about you. You can only control how you feel about yourself. So, if you want to be a priority in someone's life, it's crucial to start by being a priority in your own life. This means acknowledging your own needs, emotional, physical, and mental, and acting on them. If something isn't serving you well, don't be afraid to step away, even if it means losing someone you'd like to have around. You deserve to be treated with respect, love, and consideration, and it starts with yourself, grounded in self-respect, self-esteem, and self-care. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself permission to rest, recharge, and nurture your own needs. When you put yourself first, you're not only cultivating a deeper relationship with yourself, but you're also sending a powerful signal to the world that you deserve to be a priority. So, let's commit to prioritizing our own needs, valuing ourselves, and putting ourselves first. This is an invitation to a journey of self-discovery and authenticity, where each step brings us closer to truly being priorities in the lives of those around us. Let's commit to being our own best friends, our own greatest advocates, and our own loves. Because when we put ourselves first, everything around us aligns to value us in the same way. Lesson 6. Don't make them the center of your life. Here's a real gem when it comes to relationships. Don't make them the center of your life. It seems like a paradox, doesn't it? But sometimes, it's exactly what we need to do to truly attract people closer to us. You've heard of the expression, "The grass is always greener on the other side," right? It perfectly captures this human tendency to be attracted to what we can't have. And this applies to relationships too. When someone feels like they need to fight for something, their desire for it only grows. Furthermore, by not putting others at the center of your life, you're preserving your own autonomy and independence. This not only strengthens your self-confidence, but also creates a healthy space for mutual growth in relationships. When you maintain a certain distance, you're allowing each person to maintain their individuality and freedom, which is essential for a balanced and lasting relationship. Another important aspect is to remember that it's not about playing games or manipulating others' feelings. It's about cultivating an authentic and genuine relationship, based on mutual respect and the freedom to be who you are. When you stand authentically and honestly, you attract people who value and respect you for who you are, not for who they want you to be. So, here's the essence of this step. Maintain a certain distance so that people are more attracted to your presence. This may seem counterintuitive at first, but it's a powerful way to convey the message that you're not desperate for their attention. By not making them the center of your life, you're showing that you have your own exciting and busy life, filled with interests, hobbies, and passions. This not only increases your own value in their eyes, but also sparks curiosity and the desire to win your attention. Therefore, don't be afraid to take time for yourself, pursue your own dreams, and invest in your own personal growth. The more you value yourself and put yourself first, the more people around you will be drawn to your magnetic presence. Remember, it's not about pushing people away, but rather creating a space where they feel the urgency and desire to be by your side. It's about being a source of inspiration, someone who doesn't need external validation to feel complete. So, let's commit to not making others the center of our lives, but rather becoming the protagonists of our own journeys. This is an invitation to a life of authenticity, self-esteem, and self-worth, where each step brings us closer to meaningful relationships. Let's allow ourselves to be attractive not out of need, but by being authentically ourselves. Lesson 7. Don't initiate communication. So, we've reached step 7. If you find yourself constantly taking the initiative in communicating with someone important in your life, it might be time to take a step back and reassess the situation. I know, it might seem a bit counterintuitive. After all, if you want to become a priority in someone's life, shouldn't you be the one initiating communication? But the reality is a bit different. When you're always the first to reach out, the other person may start to take it for granted, without realizing the true value of your efforts, which can end up making you less important in their eyes. Moreover, by stopping to initiate communication all the time, you're giving space for the other person to miss you and truly appreciate your presence in their life. It's like planting the seed of longing, allowing it to grow and flourish naturally. This temporary distance might be just what's needed to reignite mutual interest and evaluation. Another point to consider is that by taking a step back in communication, you're putting yourself in a position of greater control and self-respect. You're showing that you value your own time and energy, and that you're willing to wait for the other person to also make an effort to maintain the connection. This is an act of personal empowerment that not only strengthens your self-esteem, but also reinforces your position within the relationship. So, what's the alternative? Simply stop initiating communication and observe the result. If the other person truly cares about you, they will make an effort to get in touch. It's a subtle way to test the level of interest and investment of the other person in the relationship. But remember, this isn't about games or manipulation. It's about establishing healthy boundaries and ensuring that both sides contribute equally to the relationship. If you're constantly chasing, it might be time to rebalance things and give space for the other person to show their interest more actively. Therefore, don't be afraid to take a step back and allow the other person to take the lead in communication. This will not only increase your own value in their eyes, but also strengthen the relationship, creating a more balanced and healthy space for both. So, let's commit to taking this step back when necessary, trusting in the value we bring to the relationship and allowing the other person to do their part too. This is how we build genuine and meaningful connections, based on mutual respect and reciprocity. Lesson 8. Create your own happiness. We've reached step 8, and it's a true reminder of how essential it is to create our own happiness, regardless of others. Have you ever noticed how sometimes we place the power to make us happy in the hands of others? It's as if we deposit all our joy and satisfaction in someone else, hoping they fill every gap in our lives. But here's the true essence of this step. Relying on someone else for our happiness can lead us down a path of disappointment and resentment. When we place our happiness in the hands of others, we're essentially living according to their agenda and priorities, and that's not healthy for any relationship. By creating our own happiness, we're taking control of our lives and becoming less susceptible to external fluctuations. This means we're not at the mercy of others' mood swings or behavior changes, but anchored in our own internal source of contentment. This emotional independence not only strengthens our relationships, but also makes us more resilient in the face of life's challenges. Another important aspect is that by being responsible for our own happiness, we're building a solid foundation for healthy and balanced relationships. We're not looking for someone to save us or complete us, but rather for someone to share our joys and walk alongside us as an equal partner. This creates a dynamic of mutual respect and appreciation, where both partners support and uplift each other. So, what can we do? Create our own happiness. Yes, it's wonderful to have someone to rely on, someone who makes us feel good. But it's important to remember that our happiness shouldn't depend solely on someone else. We should cultivate our own joy, find the little things that make us smile and fill us with gratitude. By creating our own happiness, we not only become happier in the long run, but also more attractive to others. Why? Because we appear more balanced, self-assured, and fulfilled in our own life journey. We're not seeking someone to complete us, but rather to share our happiness and wholeness with someone who values it. So, let's commit to finding joy in the little things, to cherish our own passions and interests. Let's become a source of light and positivity, not just for ourselves, but also for those around us. This is an invitation to a life of authenticity, self-esteem, and fulfillment, where our happiness is truly our responsibility and our greatest achievement. Lesson 9. We've reached the final step, and it's one of the most powerful: being willing to walk away. I know it can seem daunting, especially when it involves someone we value, but it's a crucial step to convey the message that we won't settle for anything less than we deserve. When we show that we're not afraid to walk away from situations or people who don't treat us with the respect and value we deserve, we're putting ourselves first. We're telling the world that we deserve to be a priority in our own lives and in the relationships we cultivate. It's true, it can be difficult. But remember, by doing your part and being willing to walk away when necessary, you're creating space for something better to enter your life. The right person, the one who truly values and respects you, will naturally make an effort to keep you in their life. Another important perspective to consider is that being willing to walk away is not just about demanding respect from others, but also about respecting yourself. By recognizing our own worth and setting healthy boundaries, we're cultivating a deeper and more authentic relationship with ourselves. We're giving ourselves permission to prioritize our own happiness and well-being, even if it means letting go of something or someone who no longer serves us. Furthermore, it's important to remember that being willing to walk away doesn't mean acting impulsively or without consideration. It's about making a conscious and empowered choice to remove ourselves from situations that don't help us grow or make us feel valued. It's about choosing ourselves, our inner peace, and our dignity above any relationship that diminishes us or makes us feel less than we deserve. Ultimately, by being willing to walk away when necessary, we're creating space for new opportunities and positive connections in our lives. We're opening ourselves up to more authentic and fulfilling relationships, where we are truly valued and appreciated for who we are. So, don't be afraid to walk away when you feel like you're not receiving the respect and appreciation you deserve. Remember, it's self-love that will guide us to the relationships that truly enrich us and help us grow. And here's the key: do what's right, what's within your reach, and feel good about it. Don't always expect to receive credit or immediate recognition, because often, people will only begin to appreciate you the way you deserve when you value yourself first. In summary, these 9 steps have a clear purpose: to help you become a priority in the lives of the people around you. Each step is a journey of self-discovery, personal growth, and self-appreciation. So, let's commit to putting ourselves first, to valuing our own dignity, and to seeking relationships that uplift us and make us feel truly loved and respected. This is the path to a life of genuine and meaningful connections, where we are valued for who we truly are. Continue practicing Stoicism, and over time, you will become increasingly skilled at managing your emotions and living a more balanced and serene life. I invite you to leave the following comment: I am resilient and have control of my destiny. Thank you for watching this far. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to keep receiving future content. Share this video to inspire others to transform their lives as well. Watch the next video to continue your journey of personal growth. After all, a single choice can change the course of a lifetime.